It is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So I'm just recording a quick little intro to this because I forgot to add a couple of things into my review of this truly awful episode, right? Just truly, it's everything you would expect. Look, have you ever seen Lower Decks? Do you like Star Trek? Well, you probably hate Lower Decks. Like, I would personally rather sandpaper my face than have to watch Lower... Actually, that's an exaggeration. I probably wouldn't sandpaper. But given the choice, right? Given the choice, maybe a little bit, right on the cheek. Not the whole thing. Okay, but anyway... It's awful. I'm burying the lead. It's absolutely awful. There's two things I omitted, two little bits of really crappy awfulnesses. The first thing is the title, Those Old Scientists. They reference it at the beginning of Lower Decks. They say, in Lower Decks, they all know about Pike's Enterprise. Everybody on the Enterprise is famous to them, which is just so stupid, right? It's so stupid. They got number 1 is on a recruitment poster 150 years later. It's just dumb beyond dumb, right? But the episode is called Those Old Scientists. They say, I wonder what those people did, those old scientists, referring to the crew of the Enterprise, the Pike's Enterprise, right? It was very false, and I couldn't work out what. It just seemed silly. It's because they wanted to use the initials TOS, right? TOS to refer to them in some canonical way. God, it didn't work, right? Your writing wasn't good enough to pull off the idea. If you come up with something that worked with TOS as the first letters, great. But it didn't, which is Star Trek, in 2023. In Kurtzman's Star Trek all over, with the exception of Picard Season 3 and Strange New Worlds Season 1. Remember Season 1, where they went to Strange New Worlds every episode? That was so much better. This one, they've been on the ship all the time, mostly without Pike. Ship full of cackling women that I would rather jump out of an airlock, quite frankly. So that's the first thing I forgot to mention. The point of the title, which is just... that shows you what you're in for, right? That shows you what you're in for. There's a subplot with Uhura, who's a workaholic, who's got to be shown how to relax and be a wonderful, wonderful person by the awesome mariner who is terrible at everything and the best at everything at the same time. Don't really understand it at all, but okay, whatever. But there's a subplot where she's like obsessing about these alien runes on this portal thing, you'll see in the episode, to try and translate them. And they just drop the storyline altogether once they take her out for a drink and she realizes it's okay to relax, right? The runes just said, time portal on it, which, okay, again, what a stupid way to drop a storyline. It's just dumb. This Star Trek is dumb beyond dumb, and it breaks my heart because Star Trek should be smart. This is awful. Anyway, this comes from a live stream I did last night. I live stream 3 to 5 times a week. Come and join me on a live stream. You can catch me on Twitter. You can catch me on Rumble. You can catch me on YouTube. I'm on all the above. Look in the video notes. You can sign up to my my Substack, where you get informed about all my content. I'm just trying to pull out the other thing you get there. You get informed of my sparkling content every day. Also, I'm putting this book out. I'm up to chapter 5 right now. It's Millennial Rights. This is a book on tape read by an AI deepfaker, Colin Baker. Frickin' sounds awesome. And this is from 1999, which is 24 years old, right? And it's so off its time. It's a wonderful time. All the segments are on YouTube. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a playlist for them there. It's fantastic. I'm really enjoying doing this. Right? I'm not taking credit. Craig Hinton wrote it. That's funny. And some weird computer is doing the voice. I don't know. Anyway, that's all good stuff. It's in the video notes. Sign up. You get it as the full book on tape as an MP3 if you join my paid level. Please do that. That'll be fan-dabby double dozy. Fine. Now let me hand over to me from last night. The night and day from Star Trek Picard to Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 2. Season 1 was great. Season 1 was fantastic. I really... You know why? Because they had interesting characters going to Strange New Worlds. Season 2 is a bunch of chicks laughing on a spaceship. They've gone off the spaceship twice this season. Right? It's dull. It's not very good. But this one knocks over the edge. So I'm skipping episode 6 and going straight to episode 7, which is the crossover with Lower Decks. Now, Lower Decks is shit beyond shit. It's disrespectful, stupid shit, right? Beyond shit. It irritates me how fanboy it is, how much they reference Star Trek all the time in it, and how obnoxiously awful the main characters are. The main character is Boimer, this kind of pathetic, effeminate loser, runs around like that. And then there's Mariner, who is an absolutely evil, nasty cunt of a woman, right? Who screws up everything and is the bestest ever at the same time. Just like it's the worst Star Trek you've ever seen, including Discovery. And Discovery is fucking awful, right? If you have a choice of watching Star Trek Discovery or having somebody shove a fist up your ass, I'm not sure which is the right way to go, right? I am not sure which is and I'm not a fan of the fist up the ass. If you like it, that's good for you, right? I will not argue with you. If it's not for me, but vive la difference, baby, vive la difference. So it's so indicative of what this season has been like. But here, let's see what next week's episode is, which is a complete white flag that they have totally run out of ideas. Where is it? Did I thought, did I not download the trailer? I thought I did. Oh, here it is. And Star Trek is always better for having Pike in it. I mean, that's the thing that really annoys me. I know it could be good, right? But they completely unbalanced the season. It's predominantly women. It's like 80% female. And so it's always a bunch of women sitting around laughing in the bar. And they're shit characters, right? Nurse Chapel was good in the first season. It's second season. She's a good actress, I have to tell you. Jess Bush is she's able to emote and make me care about her, and she looks fantastic in spandex white, which is very impressive in of itself. Christina Chong just is like nails on a chalkboard. I was a little bit iffy with her first season. I didn't like her being a Noonien Sung and a survivor of the Gorn. Too much backstory, going in too many different ways, and it just wasn't that compelling a character, but at least she was in the background somewhat. And Lieutenant Lesbian Latinx is like, again, nails on a fucking chalkboard. She's in basically every scene now, right? And so then they also added in Carol Kane as the new engineer, who's like this big, wise, Guinan type character. And she's just annoying, right? So again, chicks in space. That's what it is. It's chicks in space that not that many people are interested in. It's crushing how bad this season is. But now this is a sign you've totally run out of ideas. And don't get me started on cosplay Spock. He is awful. Wait till you see this episode, right? If you want to see the destruction of Spock, this episode works very hard to do that. And it's another one set all on the ship, right? They've gone to planet, once, twice this season? By the way, see what I mean about her being in every fucking scene? Oh, and Kirk is awful as well.
People celebrate with song.
She's good, I have to tell you. I would watch something else with her in it. I like was it Uhura in this? I think the actress is excellent, right? Her, Jess Bush, I think are really, really, really talented, right? And I really didn't want to like Uhura, and she won me over completely, right? I mean, like the musical event of the season. Again, Jess Bush does look very good in that white spandex. Christina Chong just annoys me.
Do you know the odds of all of us being here?
What? In 2023, an 80% female crew? That's 100%, right? That's 100%.
This time?
And he just look at that engineering set. It's gorgeous. Oh God, that's so much of the design this set has got. I love the engineering set, and last year they nailed it. Were doing Star Trek, and it was great, right? It was great. They did one episode so far this year, which I felt like Star Trek vaguely, but again, not with the 100 cackling women on the ship.
It's improbable, and yet.
And yes, I understand you. All you actors like doing musical theater. Strike as long as you like, you cunts. You just strike and strike and strike. I hope you all lose your houses.
Here we are.
That is this season to a T. Women in Spain. This has been such a shit season. Anyway, fitting perfectly into this season is tonight's episode, which I saw today. I'm going to spoil the fuck out of it, and you're welcome. Okay, nobody should have to sit through this ever. It's So you like Lower Decks is so bad. Keith Isles stopped watching it. Now Keith Isles forgives everything about Star Trek. He forgives so much about this new era. He is like, will always look at the positive, right? He's very good at doing that. Even he stopped watching Lower Decks because the characters on it are awful, as we'll see. So anyway, this week's episode starts off, we go, whoa! We got this thing which is meant to be good if you're very, very high, right? If you're very, very high, even though it doesn't really work so much anymore. I don't know, maybe if you just done some heroin, right? You go, whoa! Wishy, wish. And oh man, look how gorgeous that looks, right? Right, that used to be the only something you would only ever see in a comic, right? I tell you, the creator of this series, they must be on their knees praying to their non-theistic god, right? They're thanking them for the Star Trek motion picture poster, so they can do like LGB like a rainbow, right? But Star Trek, not really. So it opens up and we're in Lower Deck. Oh, God, I fucking hate this show. Absolutely hate this show, right? Nothing to do with Star Trek whatsoever. Just lots of Star Trek member bearers, right? And here we have the two awful characters, Boimer and Mariner. And she's just like superior and better everything. And he's all excited because they're going to check out this portal on a planet. And they said, oh, and here's the stupid thing. Everybody also on in Strange New Worlds is famous. They know who everybody is intimately, and they're fans of them, right? They so stupid, right? So and this portal was discovered by the Enterprise, by Pike's Enterprise. Yeah, it was like the coolest one, and so they're all going to beam down, and Mariner's in charge, and she's like, well, why are you in charge? Oh, they made me. So they beam down, and yeah, you think these are cartoonish expressions, but they're not. When you see them, they go into live action, they play it exactly the same way. So she says, yeah, they said, actually, this was discovered by the Orions. My great-grandmother was on the science ship. Yeah, well, I thought all Orions were pirates. I said, no, we had some scientists. Who do you think made the ships? So anyway, they go and look at it, and he then starts doing an impersonation of Spock, a bad impersonation of Spock, in front of the portal that hasn't been active for like over 100 years. They take a picture of him, and it turns the portal on, and whoosh, he's chucked out, and he's in real life. And the first thing you see is a close up of Spock, who was just impersonating because he's a Spock fanboy, and he sees the and also he's desperately in love with number one as well. Don't think he knows Christina Chong, probably he does, but they're like, okay, one to beam up. So again, Tim, here's the weird thing about this. Much like the actors, right, who have no self-awareness of how much they fucked up, right? I'm clipping this out to his own video. Early on in the live stream, I showed a bunch of actors putting out a video urging the 2016 electors to not elect Donald Trump, right? Just like the 2021 January 6th, that there was the urge them not to elect Joe Biden. Man, if only we'd listened to them. And they There's just no self-awareness whatsoever. Same with this. There's no self-awareness of how bad current Star Trek is. We had a fantastic Picard season, right? I had a watchable Star Trek Strange New Worlds that gave me hope. This season has taken that hope away. But they're Akiva Goldsman and the like, they're looking at this going, oh, everything in Star Trek is wonderful, right? And if it was, this would be great. If Lower Decks was something that was beloved by fandom, not hated by it, right? It would work. But it's not, right? It's hate. So they do an animated opening, right? To emulate Strange New Worlds, to emulate Lower Decks, and whatever. It's just kind of annoying, right? It is. It's just kind of annoying. Yeah. So fine, we finished the titles, thank God. And again, the aesthetic. Freaking beautiful, so wasted on this piece of shit, right? So he's in. Before they get there, they look in his badge. They see it's a communicator. They know he's from the future, and he's like, "Oh, you're Captain Pike! Oh, I'm so excited to meet you. You'll be." And he just breaks all the laws of time travel constantly, right? Keeps giving hints about his future. Oh no! First thing he does is computer end program, and then this is to show you how much they don't know about Star Trek. He prods Pike to see if he's solid. If you're in a holodeck, they're solid. How do you think they fuck them in Quarks? Right? Quark had a holo sex suite, which I would be using quite a lot, quite frankly. All right. So he this is just basic fucking look. I mean, like, but no. So he says computer end program, then he sees it's real. And he's like, oh, I'm on the original Enterprise. It's so cool. And he's like, oh, the captain's funny. And he laughs. And, oh, God. Yeah, that expression is the right expression. Answer Mount. That is the right expression. So they take him to his quarters or whatever, and he's nerding out about the analog dials and stuff and saying it's so cool. But, yeah, look at the stupid expression he's got on through most of it. So anyway, they're talking about he's in Pike's ready room office, and he gets on Pike's saddle and starts riding it, and then Uhura walks in and says, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, Uhura, you're so famous. We're all fans of you in the future. Oh, you do this and that. Well, oh man, everybody loves Uhura." And she's like, "I'm 20. I have no idea what you're talking about." Right. So they go back down, and she's trying to translate the glyphs on the portal. And they're talking about, and he's like, oh, he's nerding out about, oh, you're Dr. Mabenga, and it's so annoying, right? And he says that we were about to take a picture. Oh God, we're going to get there. Don't touch that dial. I was going to take a picture, and it seemed to activate the portal. And Spock says that's absurd. Now Spock is trying to work on his emotions this episode, so we have him smiling a lot. It's because he's dating Nurse Chapel, and he's leaning more into his human side, and we have lots of this shit. Right? Like the worst thing ever, right? The worst thing ever. So they're trying to work out how to get back, and the Orions show up, right? And so they beam them back up, and he's like, Captain, I know they're Orions, right? I don't tell me the future, right? So I quite like this Orion captain. This is. And when they do something that feels like Star Trek, this feels like Star Trek. It feels like kind of innovative Star Trek as well, right? I like these Orions. I would like to see more. Yes, something in the actual Star Trek world, right? So they're saying basically, you know, what are you doing here? And they were investigating this portal. And while they're talking, they beam the portal up to their ship and they warp off. Like what? Because they listened to Boimer about saying, oh no, they're a science vessel. So they're trying to what was it? I don't know. There is a scene with again, she's everywhere. Lieutenant Ortega and Jess Bush, Nurse Chapel. I can't remember what they're talking about, but it's just like he's just like, he's telling that it's Pike's birthday. He says, they asked him if he want to come to a movie night on Friday. He said, you're doing that for Pike's birthday? He's like, what? That's his birthday? Well, in my time, that's a national holiday or a intergalactic holiday. Just polluting the timelines left, right, and center. Meanwhile, then Spock walks in, smiling again. God. Oh, God, this hurts me. This actually physically hurts me, right? It really does. He's freaked out that Spock's smiling, and so he goes to talk to Chapel about it. Says, maybe I've broken the timeline by doing that. I don't know. In my time, he's famous for, and he talks about Spock in a way that just isn't true. He's like, no, Spock never smiles. And Spock, it was just super cool. Oh, you go back and watch the original series. Spock is super cool. Oh, this is called Those Old Scientists. Right, and they're going to tell you why. It's because that's how they describe them, those old scientists. And he's like, no, don't worry, it's something Spock was doing beforehand. So they're trying to track the Orion ship, and he's like, well, I can do it. He says, well, you can't tell us future technology. So how about this? You guys just don't look, and I'll set it up. And so you have these 5 people on the bridge crew. Nobody else is there. They're looking the other way, and he finds out where they are. Then the bridge is back together again. Oh, look, there's a guy there. He must be about to die or be gay. One of the two. I think he says that that in his time that not all Orions are pirates, right? And the science officer is the great-great-grandmother of somebody on the ship. So please don't blow it up because I don't want to destroy the timeline. So he says, you're famous for negotiation diplomacy. Famous for it, right? Famous. So it's like, fine, I'll do it. So he was on his way to deliver this grain to a colony at the beginning of the episode, and essentially they say, "Look, we'll trade you the portal for grain, right?" And so they say, "Okay, the portal's got enough juice in it for one more trip. It's got this old made out this old ally that the Enterprise Archer's Enterprise was made out of, and it's got enough in it for one more trip. We can send you back to the future." So, okay, so he does this good farewell thing. He's about to step in back in fast, and just as it happens in lower decks, which is why I stopped watching it, Mariner comes in and fucks everything up and thinks she's the bestest thing ever. Oh, I made it! I'm so great! And look, kid, this is what she's like the whole episode, right? This is the whole episode, and to like, okay, so now she can't get back now because they don't have enough. What are they? Whatever the mineral. So you have like a Mariner. Was it Boimer, just shit dialogue where she's awful, right? She's smug and awful all the time. She's the most horrible person. You don't want to be anywhere near her. She just causes disaster. Man, they should just shoot her in the head, right? Just one quick phaser bolt to the head and we're done. So they're discussing what to do. And she's like, well, look, I can help with Lieutenant Uhura with the linguistics, trying to work out the runes on it. And Boimer here is great. He can help synthesize the thing that we need by working with Mr. Spock, knowing he's a Mr. Spock fan guy. Again, look at the smugness on her face. And oh, God. Everything about this is awful. Everything about this is absolutely awful. So, again, look at his stupid run as he goes to catch up with Mariner, who's swagging around, all super confident. And she's like, yeah, I get to work with Uhura, my idol, and you get to work with Spock. And so as soon as number one shows up, he runs off. And she's like, why is he doing that? Am I like a terrible assassin in the future that everybody hates? It says, no, he's got a pin-up of you in his bunk. And she's like, pin-up? Like a girly pin-up? And he's like, well, it is. He does pin it up. And they talk about it. So then Uhura is developed this workaholic thing this season that she doesn't know how to relax and have fun. So she's trying to work out the hieroglyphics and she can't work it out. And Mariner talks her into going to take a break. And so she makes these Andorian drinks, which are like super, super strong. And Uhura's still working, right? But then Lieutenant Lesbian Latinx looks at the room and says, oh, I know what these are. This is Nausicaan. And they reference, Mariner references, what's it called again? That great Q episode where Picard like gets his fake heart, right? After a fight with Nausicaan raiders over a billiard game. And they say, oh, yeah, they're all awful, right? The Conrad says, please tell me Lieutenant Shavenhead is not emulating the time when Leonard Nimoy looked back in the synagogue and saw the rabbi making the sign after he turned into a Vulcan salute. Actually, no, he's the one who made that sign. This is this thing that the the priesthood, the Kohanim. It was known to me, but I think he's a oh no, or did he look up and he wasn't supposed to? I can't remember. I don't know what she's doing, right? I don't know what she's bloody doing. She's just awful, right? She's just awful in every freaking way. Terrible character by not a great actress. Speaking of terrible characters played by not great actors. Meanwhile, Spock works with Boimler to make the element. He says, well, it might blow up. It could be a bit dangerous, but we'll try it out anyway. And they put the lid on the thing, and it's okay. Look at this. This is like the cartoon. Like this is so pathetic. This is so pathetic, right? It blows up. It doesn't work. It's supposed to be a comedy episode, but it's just completely divorced from Star Trek. A comedy episode is called Piece of the Action, right? That's a comedy episode, right? I think he looked up, not looked back, because you do it to the crowd. I'll tell you. I'll explain to it after we go over this. Carol Kane gives a worldly advice to Boimler, and basically says he needs to go back. I think so. So then he sneaks onto a shuttle, and Mariner's there, and they want to because they found out that the grain that they were going to give, they exchanged for the portal. They can't get more grain to the colony, so they're moving the colony. It's like, well, that's going to be a huge change. So he's like trying to get the grain back from the contact the Orions to get the grain back. And Christina Chong finds out, and they're arrested. And Pike's like, okay, I'm confining you to quarters till we get to Starbase 1, and you're going to be their problem from then on in. I mean, there are many other methods of time travel, but okay, forget it. Couldn't they say, can't we just go to the Garden of Forever? Like, we could do that. There's so many things they could do, right? So then they realize where they're... Again, they make up a whole new bit of lore for this, and it's stupid. They realize, oh, wait a minute. There is some of that mineral on board the Enterprise, because the first thing you do when you build a new version of the same ship is you use a part from the older ship. So there's a part from the NX-01 here, the Archer's Enterprise, made out of that mineral. And yeah, so we can get back with that, and we're smug, and we're the bestest ever. And so, yeah, they find the bit, and they get the deuterium or whatever it is. God, I hate this show. Oh, this is so fucking awful. This is just so fucking awful. So as they're leaving, they tell her that she's on a recruitment poster, and with the name of the episode about her this season, Ad Asper, whatever it is, and she's like, yeah, I joined Starfleet because of you. Why would she be on a recruitment poster 150 years later? Like, just why? Why does he know everybody? Why are they fanboys of everything? It's stupid beyond stupid. So Spock says, peace and long life, or live long and prosper. Boimler, like, nerds out completely. He thought, yeah, prosper and live. They beam out, and they meet the Orions, and he explains, he knows somebody on the ship, their great-grandmother, your great scientist. And so they make a deal. Pike comes up with the idea to make a deal, said, well, we can say you discovered this, not us. It's like, well, that's all we ever really wanted. And again, I like this adding depth to the Orions. I think that really works, right? I just wish that they did more of the first season. 5. So then they go back to their portal, and they buy everybody. Yay! Whoosh, and they're back, and they get the grain back to the colonists, and now they're back in Cartoonville. And it's just fucking awful. Oh, yeah, that's the post here. Can I zoom in on this? Hang on. No, I don't think I can. Hang on. Yeah, no, it's got the title of the stupid episode on it. Anyway, so it turns out that she always, Ad Astra or whatever. They always wanted to go on the. She wanted to go on the thing all along, and off flies the Cerritos. Meanwhile, on a cartoon version of Enterprise. They drink. They got these Orion drinks that they got the ingredient to make proper ones, and they all freak out. And it's got hallucinogenic qualities. You see Spock's arm going weird, and thank God it's over. Oh, thank God it's over. It's so bad. This was a travesty to Star Trek. It really, genuinely was. It was. It wasn't. It wasn't funny in any way, right? I don't know. But okay. If you hate watching it that much, why do you keep up watching it? For do this. So I watch it so you don't have to, Solar Rangers. You're welcome. You're welcome. So the story I heard of those, how the Cohen the priest breast blessing work is the priests are at the front of the synagogue and they face the congregation, right? And you're supposed to put your prayer shawl over your head so you don't look. And they also put their prayer shawls over their head and they put their hands out like this, right? As they make the blessing. And you're not supposed to look. But he did when he was a kid, and he saw that, and then that's where the Vulcan salute came from. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.